Hello, welcome back to the greenhouse land. Yes, it's Nick here with a lot of water floating around. The sun is going up and higher and higher and higher. How do you look after your greenhouse in the summer with all that heat floating around? We're going to let you know how we do it, and also the adjustments that we've made to our greenhouse ready for the summer. So with the summer coming, the heat is going up and everything in the greenhouse just dies. Well, no, it doesn't. So don't worry. We'll show you how to keep it all growing after this. I do like the summer. It's all nice and warm, everything's starting to grow, the temperature's rising, a few jobs to do to keep the plants alive, but it doesn't matter, we've got it all sorted. So here we go. Well, preparing your greenhouse ready for the summer, what we've done is basically we got these metal frameworks. They're racking for garages, and it came with cheap tacky chipboard on it. We took all that off and we built out of little panels that one of our neighbours was having their roof redone, and the wood basically was going to go in the skip. We decided we would use it, and all you do is you take out one of these racks. Simple as that. It all just floods out, and we are then in a position where we have a little area underneath. We can do the same with the other one, which means now we have a climbing frame for the tomatoes. This top one will come off in a few weeks' time. Once the tomatoes get up quite big, we then take this big top one right off, and then the tomatoes can grow as big as you need them. So that was quite simple to do. It is literally build it on the back, framework, made to the same level as the metal framework there. Being a metal, it's an aluminium type fabric, and basically it doesn't rust. So you can have it all year round. We've done the same on the other side. The shelves during the year are used as storage, and then once we get to the tomato months, as we call them, out come these shelves and the tomatoes can grow. Right, as you can see, we've got the grow bags in, the trays are in, and now you take off your excess that you don't need, get rid of that. And what we use is these. Now they are for tomatoes. The main plant goes in the center there, and you water into the outside. That then goes down into our bit that we've just cut out, and the holes in the middle and the holes on the edge, all the water just leaks through. So into there, that leaks into there. Now we found with grow bags that in this greenhouse, 2 grow bags with 2 holes is sufficient for what we need. So don't go mad. We are putting in 2 holes with 2 of those, one, and the next one, take off what we don't need, and we then place that in there. And that really is it. That is now ready for the tomato plants. Let's have a closer look. There we go. It's all in and ready. So nothing to worry about. All sorted for the summer growing of tomatoes. One thing to remember is throughout the summer, your temperatures within the greenhouse should be between 15 and 29. Now, obviously, with global warming, the outside temperatures are getting quite hot. There's a lot of things you can do within your greenhouse, quite simple, quite straightforward, and they will get you through the summer without losing all your plants. They won't go dry and crispy. They will always be moist. So the idea is keep them moist and keep them alive. The next job we need to do is plant these little devils into the grow bags, into the holders, and get them ready for growing by themselves in the greenhouse. Right, and the final one. 1, 2, 3. Now we put 3 handfuls of our own compost into these because that gives you quite a large area to bury the tomatoes. The tomatoes need to be down as far as you can go with them. Let's have a look. There we go. Let's get one of these tomatoes. Now, as you can see, they're quite big. So this is the money makers, one of the ones we sowed the seeds a few months earlier. Roots are really good. That goes into there. Now, as you can see, there is a lot of room around them now. Then you just top up with your compost around the edge. For those of you that are wondering why the blue glove, well, it's not a fashion accessory. It is literally stops my fingers turning black with the compost. Our compost we make ourselves. It's all home produced, and so are our tomatoes, really. There we go, all sorted. That one is now ready to grow. When it gets up to about sort of 12 inches, will be the place to grow. When it gets to about here, we will then take the top shelf off. Right, now then, things to remember. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy temperature. As it gets warm, keep the plants moist and try and keep the greenhouse and your garden as cool as possible. The greenhouse should be between 15 and 29 degrees. Now, with global warming, we're now looking at temperatures that are coming along of 30, 35 outside. So the greenhouse goes right up. So you've got to keep an eye on it. We have vents in the ceilings. We have the door open. That door open all the way through the summer. We only close it when it gets chilly. And then there's a morning watering. I'll go more into that in a moment. But temperature-wise, it is now, 10:30 in the morning, and we are looking at 35 degrees in here. So basically, this greenhouse now needs cooling. So what we'll do is we'll do something that some of you might think is a little bit strange, but we will cool it. Right, now then, your daily task. This has to be done every morning, preferably as early as possible before the sun really hits out. Now, what you've got to do is you take your hose, wash everything down in your working area. Your working area needs to be washed down with cold water. That basically will cool this whole area down. Now, the next thing, once you've got that part done, is the greenhouse. You need to wash down the greenhouse floor. Straightforward. Yes, you will get puddles and things. Doesn't matter. Wash it all down. What that will do is it will then evaporate and go to a mist all over your greenhouse. It also means that you're able to wash down and fill up any grow bags, etc. Planting is going to survive. Do not worry about that. In this sort of weather, the planting is going to survive. You have to think positive. You don't want everything to die. Once you've completed the floor washing, you then change the hose nozzle to a mist, and you then mist all the windows and your plants, making sure that if you've got any electrics, they are covered, otherwise you might end up with a frizzy hairdo. All your planting, all your windows, all washed. Everything is now wet and ready for the coming heat of the day. That's the watering, that's the washing down, that's getting ready for summer to put your tomatoes in. We've covered all of those things. You have seen the watering bit, and that has actually taken us from what was 35, it's now dropped down to 27 degrees. So we've already gone down a few degrees with the water in here. So that's something to remember. Also, there are various myths around about watering, especially around the garden, that says sort of don't do it in the daytime, don't do it in the morning, do it in the evening before you... No, it's all rubbish. If you water your flower beds in the evening, yes, it won't evaporate. It'll sit there nicely, and the slugs and snails then come out and spend the evening munching because the beds are nice and cool, they are damp, that's ideal for what they want. If you water them first thing in the morning, you don't have to spray the whole plant, just spray the soil if you're that worried, but we just spray everything. And it then spends the rest of that morning before the sun comes round absorbing the moisture. So that's a good idea. We do it and it works. Some people say you shouldn't water your flower beds halfway through the day. Well, if your flowers are doing that and looking a bit limp-wristed, then what you don't want is to ignore them, because if you ignore them, they will die. Simple as that. You don't care for them, they won't care for you. What you need to do is to get in with your hose on a fine sprinkle down onto the ground and water underneath the plant. If you get water on the plant, some people say it will burn the plant. The water will sit there and act as a magnifying glass. It doesn't. It evaporates. The plants are quite handy. They know what they're doing. If you have a sunny day and then you have a shower during the day, what do? Run out and cover all your flower beds up? No, you ignore it because the plants survive. So remember that, because it will make your life a lot easier. This really is it. That's it. If you've enjoyed what we've put out today and the information is helpful to you, remember, thumbs up, like it. If you've got any questions, go into the comments and ask us a question. We're always here to answer. And of course, then you have the big button. You just need to subscribe. Click on the subscribe button. It won't cost you anything. And we can then let you know when new videos are coming. I'm getting a bit drippy at the moment, so I might actually finish off and go and lay in the spa or something, because temperatures are going to be rising up to above 35 today. So let's think positive, water well, and look after your greenhouse, which basically means keep on growing.